Jack, a CEO worth billions, made an unusual choice to disguise himself as a disabled person with limited mobility. This unconventional decision was entirely due to his recently deceased mother. One day, he visited his late mother's room. Overwhelmed by his longing for her, he sat in her wheelchair and started singing. At that very moment, a beautiful woman suddenly appeared behind him. She was a new neighbor who had just moved in and was looking for someone to help her move some things. When Jack heard this, he prepared to stand up and assist her. However, the woman firmly declined his offer, mistaking him for a disabled person. Jack was about to explain, but seeing such a lovely girl, he chose to continue the charade. As Anna left, she kindly reminded Jack that if he ever encountered any difficulties, he should feel free to come next door and find her. Jack was a wealthy man with a wild streak. His hobby was using different personas to hit on beautiful women. No matter how gorgeous they were, none could escape the clutches of this super Casanova. The next day, Jack showed up at Anna's doorstep. But just as he was about to ring the doorbell, he realized he couldn't quite reach it. Frustrated, he stood up. Then, putting on a pitiful expression, waited for Anna to open the door. When she did, he told her he felt terribly lonely that day and asked if they could have
I'm sorry.
Afraid that refusing might hurt his feelings, Anna agreed to his request. Seeing his plan succeed, Jack smiled with satisfaction. Perhaps out of guilt or a desire to pursue Anna, he wanted to tell her that he wasn't actually disabled. But as the words reached his lips, he swallowed them back and instead told her that although he
They hurt my feet.
was skeptical, she did what he meant. So she took the initiative and invited him to visit her mother's home that weekend. Without hesitation, he accepted. Following the address, Jack drove to the countryside. He took the wheelchair out of his trunk and, with great effort, finally reached his destination. However, upon arriving, he learned Anna's true intention was to introduce him to her sister. Jack was quite taken by the sister's beautiful face, but the next second, his smile gradually froze. Seeing Amy take a wheelchair out of the car, Jack felt like he'd been struck by lightning on a clear day. He turned to survey his surroundings, noticing the meaningful smiles on everyone's faces. At the dining table, the two were arranged to sit together. The elderly man couldn't resist taking a jab at Jack, saying, "You set your sights on one girl but got introduced to a paralyzed one instead." Jack felt very uncomfortable. After the meal, they were arranged to admire the scenery outside. During their conversation, he learned that Amy was a violinist who also enjoyed playing baseball in her spare time. But faced with Amy's lively chatter, Jack couldn't take in a word. Little did he imagine that the girl before him would completely change his life. After home, he recounted the experience to his friends, praising Amy's beauty endlessly. However, he admitted he didn't like her. His friends started teasing him, saying he could never win Amy over. Their words Jack's competitive spirit, and he placed a bet with his friends.